Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vishal Kumar. In today's video I want to talk about my experience with intermittent fasting. To be honest, I have had my fair share of experience with fasting earlier, but it was kind of like on and off most of the time. I usually did do intermittent fasting for some days and then quit it, or I did prolonged fasting for 2 or 3 days and then stopped doing it altogether. And it kind of was never consistent with it. So with today's experience that I want to talk, I wanted to do a 30-day challenge wherein for 30 consecutive days I wanted to do intermittent fasting. But it didn't go as well as planned, but I'm happy with the results, to be honest. So without any further ado, let's get started. So if you see the board which is on the screen now, for the 30 days which I started from 23rd June, though most of the days that is crossed off were the days that I've actually succeeded in doing intermittent fasting. That is 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of eating. But there were some days, like the days that I've circled, which I couldn't make it. So to be honest, when I started intermittent fasting, I did keep Sundays as a cheat day, wherein Sundays I wouldn't do any type of intermittent fasting. Monday to Saturday I would do 24 intermittent fasting, and Sunday was kind of like a cheat day where I would eat throughout the day. But also I wanted to keep it within the calorie restriction, that I didn't want to exceed 2000 calories per day on Sunday as well. But sometimes it did go to 2500, 3000 as well, because I used to go outside and eat. So with the next image, with the circles that I have ticked, right, those are the Sundays which I allowed myself a leeway, kind of like a cheat day, to be not following intermittent fasting, to be exact. However, the next image that I'm going to show you, now in these 4 circles I have actually boxed it out. The exact reason why I have boxed it out is because on these particular 4 days I was actually feeling very unwell. I had to go to the doctor, and doctor had suggested me some medications. On those medications I had to actually consume medicine in the morning, afternoon and the evening as well. In order to accommodate those medications, I had to eat something before taking them. So those 4 days I couldn't actually go through with the intermittent fasting. Actually, to be honest, the doctor had given me for 5 days. I cut short it to 4 days because I didn't want to waste any more days. I wanted to get back into track, and post 3 days I was feeling very much better, and I thought maybe this it would be okay for me to come back into intermittent fasting. So as I was saying, most of the time intermittent fasting people usually their eating window would be like fast throughout the day, eat in the night or evening, or sometimes even in the afternoon. But with my past experience, that was very bad. In the evening when I came back home after tired, I usually used to eat a lot of unhealthy food, deep fried items, oily items, which kind of defeated the whole purpose of doing intermittent fasting for health reasons. And also I had a lot of sugary items like ice cream or chocolates in the night after having dinner, which is not good. So I decided I'll keep my eating window in the first thing in the morning. Of course, it is difficult to get most of the protein intake, or kind of a lunch or a dinner kind of a thing in the breakfast itself. But over the past 30 days I have tried to innovate or try to create breakfast in such a way that it is highly proteinaceous, highly nutritious for that matter. Had to include a lot of dry fruits, nuts, seeds, a lot of greens, and sometimes I did actually take supplementation for omega-3 or something like vitamin C or vitamin D for that matter, which kind of helped me stay on track for the intermittent fasting. Now actually when I am recording this video, the 30 days has been passed. Actually I am now into 45 days of intermittent fasting. For the past 15 days actually there were 2 Sundays, of course, which are cheat days for me, and I did lapse for 1 day wherein I had to go out with my family. I had to eat dinner there, and there is no excuse for not having dinner there. Other than that, it is going quite good actually. Having food in the morning has helped me a lot. And I have actually jotted down a few pros and cons with my experiences of fasting for 30 days. Just let me take it. So first thing is having limited calories. One of the most struggles that I have faced throughout my life is being on and off with my weight. sometimes some years actually I've been very fit and some years I've been very overweight, and I have gone back to being fit and gone back to being overweight again. Right now I'm in the stage of being overweight again. When I started this 24 intermittent fasting, I used to weigh around 99 kgs. I hopefully have not crossed 100. When I last weighed in, it was 99. After 30 days of doing intermittent fasting, I was weighing around 94 kgs, which is around a 6 kgs, 6 kgs reduction in weight for a period of 30 days of intermittent fasting, which is good. But I did feel down for most of the time because I was lacking a lot of nutrients or protein and other healthy foods, which I constantly am trying to improve even today. Wherever I can identify those areas which I am deficient in and trying to include those. So one of the first advantages of doing intermittent fasting or this kind of intermittent fasting is having limited calories. In that 4 hour window, after that, even though I want to eat, or even though there are a lot of foods to eat, I have restricted myself not to eat them. So after 12 p.m, anything which is available outside when I'm in office, like a lot of biscuits, coffee, teas, and all these snacks, samosas, all those things that come in the evening, I have completely avoided it, and I'm actually feeling good. That is one of the main advantages that I have actually, I actually benefited from this intermittent fasting. Second one is less distractions. Now having a good meal in that 4 hour window has given me less distraction. Something what to eat in the lunch, or what to eat for dinner, or what have I had more or have I had less. All those kinds of distractions have completely gone off. That is kind of like made my brain free to focus on more important things for that matter. Again, as I discussed earlier, it has helped me tremendously in losing weight, and it is continuously also helping me right now to lose weight as well. But I do have to incorporate a lot of workouts because there is a risk of muscle loss in intermittent fasting. Next is, it's overall a kind of a better feeling, in the morning. There were days when I used to have heavy dinner, like a lot of masala, spices. In the morning it was, very bad. The day was not starting off good, and the day used to often feel very bad. The feeling of bloating, the feeling of not, being well, that kind of is no longer there for me for the past 30 to 45 days. That is another main benefit that I have derived from this intermittent fasting. Being said all this, advantages or benefits of intermittent fasting, there are a few, disadvantages or cons as well. So first thing is, the deficiency of having nutrient deficiency, right? As I said earlier, I don't go out much. I usually go out 1 hour in the morning, with a walk with my dog. Other than that, I don't get any sun exposure. And that too, since July, sun is also not so much out. From the place where I stay, it is a lot of rainy. It's raining a lot, and it's cold. And getting a vitamin D3 supplement is really good for me. It has helped me a lot, in stabilizing my mood as well. Getting a multivitamin or something has really helped me, and also focusing more on protein, like having whey protein and having a lot of proteinous food. Like in the 7 days a week, I don't usually eat meat all 7 days. I kind of restrict meat to only 2 or 3 days a week. So remaining days when I'm completely vegetarian, I do try to incorporate a lot of low fat paneer, tofu, soya chunks, and all those things, as a source of protein, which help me keeps fill for throughout the day. I do feel somewhat hungry late in the night, maybe at around 9:30, 10 o'clock, but I kind of go to sleep at that time, and it usually the hunger just goes off. And second is social and lifestyle functions. As I said, last 2 days back, I had to go out with my family and I had to have dinner. I can't reject dinner at somebody's house or some place where everybody is eating. It kind of, they kind of feel bad, and it is kind of rude not to have food as well. So these functions, what I've tried to done is, if the function is on Sunday, it's anyway my cheat day. If the function is any other day, I try to minimize what I eat outside. I try to keep the food more balanced, healthy, if I have to have it, or keep it in very small portions, so that I don't make the host uncomfortable. Also, at the same time, I don't spoil my whole rhythm of doing intermittent fasting. And third one that I'm actually facing a lot is overeating. So what happens after 20 hours fasting is, in the 4 hours window I tend to eat a lot. Like, I feel, my brain used to feel like all you have is 4 hours to eat, so eat a lot. I used to have a lot of unhealthy foods, like a lot of chips, lot of ice creams, lot of sugary items, lot of oil deep fried items, which over the past 45 days or 30 days I've tried to gradually limit it. In the morning, obviously fried items is kind of not palatable for me, at least. So I try to keep it to healthy as much as possible. But once I reach office at around 11 or 12 p.m, I do snack somewhat, sometimes biscuits or sometimes chips also. But I have restricted it now. So I usually avoid going into the pantry till 12 o'clock. After 12 o'clock, I do go in there to have a little bit of black coffee or a green tea. And then there is this main risk, the muscle loss risk. During intermittent fasting, people have advised me to work out, but due to my very busy schedule, I have not been able to make time for working out. I do go for a walk around 3 to 4 kilometers every single day. Sometimes it's 5-6 kilometers, but that is all the workout that I do get it. But in order to maintain muscles, there should be a lot of strength training as well, which I am not currently doing. Maybe in the future I'll try to improve it so that I get around half an hour or 45 minutes time to focus on strength training as well. So now these are the major disadvantages that I have actually faced. There might be other disadvantages online other people's face, but these were actually the main that I have faced, that I wanted to share with you guys. Coming back to this whole concept of intermittent fasting, the whole reason I'm continuing is because the advantages kind of outweigh the disadvantages, for me at least. So with anything, experimentation is like the best way to find out what works and what doesn't work, for me at least. Throughout my life, rather than following some routines, I actually have experimented a lot with what is going to work and what is not going to work. If somebody says something is good, I actually try it out, and if my body feels good, or if I feel good doing that, then I'll continue doing it. If it doesn't, then it's not for me. So many people would not want to try intermittent fasting because they would like to have smaller portions of meals throughout the day, and they'll be working out, and their needs are different and their work is different. For me, majority of my my actual work, the 9 to 5 job that I do, involves a lot of brain work, a lot of concentration, a lot of application of mind is required. So for me, I'll be sitting throughout the day, and having a good healthy meal once a day, or that 4 hours kind of helps me focus more on my job, do better at it. That is what I feel. So if you guys want to try, there is other types of intermittent fasting as well. There is 16-8, there is 18-6, there is 24, and then there is this warrior diet, one WOMAD diet, 1 meal a day diet. So whichever suits better, or if somebody is trying to start now, it would be better to start with 14 hours fasting window and have 12 hours eating window, and then move it to 16, 18, 20 if they are comfortable. And if they are not, then it is fine, right? It is not always it's not always like one solution for every problem. Each problem is different, and each problem requires a different kind of solution, and that is what I truly feel as well. Just because intermittent fasting has worked for me doesn't mean it has to work for you as well. Saying that, thank you guys for watching. See you again in the next video.